then I think, let me guess. Is the next song Lucy?
Nope.
Fuck.
Go again.
That's on this album.
No, I can't.
have no recollection. I'm gonna listen to this.
You got to guess what the next one is?
Oh shit! I
do. Wet Dreams.
Yes.
Yep. I got it.
Ding,
Wow.
ding, ding.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Now, I totally remember this demo.
Oh, this was a straight demo.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, this one had a demo.
yes,
this might have been left over from.
This demo went straight into the 2-inch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were we on Pro Tools by then? I
Yeah.
think we were, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Granted, we re-recorded everything.
Okay.
Because Larry was all about if Hex would have been recording this song,
It would have.
Oh.
100% he just would have imported
Loaded
it.
in.
Exactly.
Loaded in there. Loaded in the computer.
Right here.
Yeah.
Done.
I think
Yeah, this one was
didn't
demoed.
we record part of the drums on this album where it was like the no cymbal thing?
Oh, probably because we
Right?
were obsessed with that too. Remember how we were obsessed with
Yeah.
Slane Castle? And,
Yes.
But I think we were obsessed with the Queens of the Stone Age.
Yes. 'Cause
Process.
We heard Queens of the Stone
Yes.
Age on the Songs for the Death album, recorded
Did
the
we do that?
cymbals
Okay.
and the drums separate so there would be no bleed.
Which is so
And
wild.
I don't think we did it. I think we just might have done it for Wet Dreams, I think.
Possibly. I remember the demo and kind of being like, okay, it's a demo, and then him shoving it in there. But I just remember that was actually a song before. I was like, okay, this is a song.
No, and it was pretty much completely done. Like kind of like Freeze was,
Yeah.
where we just
You're right.
had to
Yeah.
we just,
Load it in.
Yeah, we just had to replay the best performances we could.
Nice.
And then Larry fucking
Did his magic.
did his Larry magic with all the sonic and this and that too.
I'm trying to think of how that went. I think there was a time, and I don't know if you guys do this too, but there's a time where you start writing a song or you have an idea or a concept, just a song's coming to you and you're kind of like, oh, cool. And you maybe track it and you're like, okay, cool. I like the chords or I like the melody or I like the rhythm or I like it's kind of some lyrical content about it, whatever. And then it kind of stays there or maybe you fully record it, whatever. And then maybe you come back again and write like the sister version of that song or another iteration of that song. And maybe it goes on a later album or maybe you just demo it up again. That one, I think, came from 2 or 3 other demos and they're all relatable. They don't have the same chords. They're not about the same thing. They're different tempos, but somehow in my mind, it's hard to separate them. They're almost like parents of this one. That's what I remember, it being a complete
That's a good
idea.
analogy.
Yeah, and I think, again, there was such crazy times going on, but like a lot of turmoil in life. You know, relationships are starting, ending.
It was a bit of a dark period.
It absolutely, it's a total, total dark period. It was
Nice, Dewey Cox.
to say the least. It was a dark period.
Dewey Cox.
But that one, I remember being like, "Whoa, this is heavy." You know, when like relationships are. I know you want to talk about the songs too and the way, but in the song,
I actually
this is
think you
kind
are.
of goes
this is
to
good.
it.
Yeah,
Just
you are
to
talking about it.
clarify,
Yeah, that's exactly what he was talking
it's
about.
like a wet dream. It's such a funny concept or whatever. Like a silly, almost sounds like teenage wet dream. But like for me, it was kind of meaning like almost like when water gets to paper, almost like dreams are blurring together and they're all you're just kind of out there. I'm not with you. I'm not with you. We're all together. We're family. I'm not in this country. I'm in your country. Where's the new country? Hey, it's just like one big kind of wet dream and following whatever that warbly dream is in the
Yeah, but it's almost like if your dreams were printed on paper and that paper got water spilled on it.
More like vodka spilled on it. Like just a lie. Like I don't know what's happening.
We didn't drink water these years.
God, no.
But also too, it's in the vein of like tongue-in-cheek pepper with like point and shoot, give it up,
Sure.
wet dreams,
Yeah.
musical 69.
Yeah.
You know, it's like these little Easter eggs of like, oh yeah, it's this Pepper boys again doing what they do.
Yeah.
Even though lyrically the song has nothing to do with any of like those kind of subjects, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's just still the tongue-in-cheek, like, oh yeah, that's funny.
It's on brand.
For sure.
very
Yeah, there you go.
on
It's on brand. It's on brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
But almost
all I
like
got.
a little bit of a like deeper innuendo with the whole what you were just talking about, basically.
yes.
Yeah.
Without saying too much, without saying not enough. I think that's what it was.
Right.
Oh my God. When
And then I like this game. Any guesses what's next?
I'm just gonna copy one of his. What did you say before?
Yeah, Lucy.
No. Didn't you just say one? When we hadn't
Musical
said
69.
Yes. Is that on this album?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
that
but
was-
not
but-
next.
yeah.
Damn it.
There are numbers involved though to this song title.
Oh, Love 101.
Yep.
Boom.
Damn it.
Yep. Right.
Oh
now
my
remember I
God.
said I was like writing a lot, right? So
Yeah.
like I didn't know where these songs were gonna go. I was just writing constantly.
Yeah.
Sabo, Naughty Don, Pepper, write.
Yeah.
Never had this much time alone at Anne's house in the studio. Everyone was gone, always. And I was like, okay, this is perfect.
Right.
So I remember again, like this was like one of those like Motown kind of vibes, kind of like things that you love, right? I was like listening. That was a lot of the attention of the music I was listening to at the time. So it's just that it's like kind of like a throwback to like that 50s kind of 50s, 60 things, kind of like what did we just play recently? Forever. Right. So it was like, it was just kind of like one of those like 50 kind of swinging songs in that sense.
Any records in particular that you were like really
Yeah,
listening
well,
to?
there was like at this time there was this. iTunes had just started. Okay.
That is
Oh, God.
You know what I mean?
Wild.
so old.
Right. And so they had like this red Motown album like from 62 to 75
Yeah,
or something.
Compilation.
A huge compilation. I was just diving into everything that they had there. But you know, Smokey Robinson was really like just impressing the hell out of me at this time of my life.
Nice.
And Love 101 is definitely a direct like homage to that era.
Nice. To Smokey Robinson specifically.
Yeah. And the Miracles.
And what do you and Love 101? I always took it as like a not like a learning course, but like I always
That's exactly it.
I always related it to educational.
Right.
When you
Right.
Oh, that makes sense.
Exactly.
I never thought about that till right now. I'm
yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah, Love 101 is like, you know, S building.
No, now I get
Yeah, exactly.
Like a course. You're taking algebra 101. Nah, I get it.
It's
Okay.
basically the, you know, lyrical content is like, you know, you're meeting this girl, calls me over, wanting good love, blah, 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 says, you know, I'm going to ditch you. I can't make it. I'm paraphrasing everything here, vocally, but the whole point is like
This is kinda how it goes.
Alone again tonight.
Okay.
Under the glow of an orange streetlight, which in Hawaii, you know, those orange streetlights are just, geez,
Well,
right?
green now, unfortunately.
Thank goodness.
Whatever.
Keiko always had blue. I was so jealous.
Yeah.
Orange. This experiment just can't be right. Love 101.
Yep.
Love 101. I'm getting taught. I'm getting schooled in how not to have a successful relationship.
And by the way,
that makes so much sense, though.
S building was where all the stoners and hippie kids, if you will, hung
Freedom
out
fighters,
at
baby.
Konawaina. Yeah.
Hemp necklaces, boy. What else? That's crazy.
Now, next one.
Fuck.
I'm saying
No, I
Lucy.
meant on
Yes.
I
I'm
meant,
saying Lucy now.
I meant on
And I-
S building. What else?
Oh.
You got me. Nostalgia. No. Stay here.
You know what else?
Yeah. I didn't do good in school. I didn't
No,
get
but
that.
for Love 101, I think
Makes
that's pretty-
complete
yeah,
sense.
Yeah, it's
Totally.
pretty-
And the Motown thing, and like that's really cool. I like the orange lights. Kind of missed those in a weird way.
You know what's funny
I
is
love
actually
the blue ones, man.
No, I love them, but that's like our childhood.
I know,
it's
right?
like, oh my god,
Laco Street.
Yeah.
the one weird thing about this song I remember from recording drums. I remember I think Leary kept wanting the tempo to be faster.
Of Love 101?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is odd because usually in the studio it's about slowing yourself down because it's usually like, and that's why you always find studio versions of songs will be slower than bands that don't play to clicks live. They'll always put like Queens of Stone Age. Their songs live are always way faster than any of the album versions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no
that's like-
backing tracks they're playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Whereas this song, I remember it was like getting to the point where like the halftime shuffle and the hi hat was almost like
Losing the shuff.
Yeah, it was like too fast almost.
Oh,
I remember.
man.
But I think Leary just in all his brilliance just pushed it right to the point where it didn't lose its swing or
He
whatever.
was never going to lose. No.
No.
That's really cool.
And I also actually remember I think there was some solid street drum corps on Love 101.
On this one?
Oh.
Okay.
I gotta like definitely listen to it. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when we listen to this album, you're gonna hear like some random chainsaw in the wildest song ever, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, that's them too!" Like he had so much fun recording them, so much fun.
They are fun. Oh my god.
Okay, Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy is
Lucy's
next.
been like Lucy was a Star Trek.
Yeah.
like we started playing this way before, and because we did the pre-production on this one at Soundwave. When we had all the we were doing like
which would be the second Soundwave session.
I think Lucy was actually supposed to be on No Shame.
Yeah.
So this just seems like an old ass song.
Once we get further down this list too, there's another song I think that was supposed to be on No Shame too. So,
But Lucy
makes
was
sense.
like the it was just the half step slide.
yeah. Yes. Yep.
doo doo,
Yeah.
doo, and like that was like that was the hook of the song immediately, right?
Right.
Is it doo 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 doo? So, but even before like there was any singing, you're like, oh. Fuck, this is cool. This is it. Like it was like an instrumental hook.
Right.
Yeah.
Doo doo doo. And then the next part goes doo doo doo. Just like, drop the strings.
Yeah.
Doo doo doo.
Yeah.
Doo doo doo.
Yeah.
And that also too, I think I was like really happy with this one because there was so much Motown involved in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like no matter what, like it was
Well,
like
it's interesting because you even think about like Musical 69 and like we were going all kind of Motown on this record.
brother. I was like,
Fucking
I was
A.
like, wow.
Yeah.
I was like, but like, yeah. So I just remember the hook of the song, like being the first opening chords.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is sick.
Because then the chorus is the after a while part.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Did we record that like in Rick's or something?
That's what I'm saying. Soundwave.
Okay, how long?
Yeah.
What year was that? Because we
That
did a
was-
bunch of crazy stuff.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was the second Soundwave session because the first one was like Unsafe Bridge and all that.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Before we even moved to the
my
mainland.
God. Okay.
And then I think when we
Right.
went back for one of our returns to play a show back home.
Oh yes.
Is when we went back into Rick's.
And we
'cause
just
were like,
loaded
we need to do
in-
some more pre-production.
Yeah.
Can we use Soundwave?
Yes. Yeah.
And so we went in the back, and I think
I'm gonna call 05.
Yeah.
When we did the Mad Caddies Kona Town Music Fest.
and I even think we did Love 101 at the Soundwave that second session.
And this
I think.
album
be.
came out when?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Pink Crustaceans is
2008. Yeah.
So at least a few years before. That's cool because that's when I really remember that song or Lucy and a bunch of others. Maybe Love 101 was back then
Yeah,
too.
I think
Yeah.
Love 101 we did at
Yeah,
Soundwave
yeah.
as well.
There was other eclectic ones. That's why in my mind, but there were two sessions. We did one a long time ago when we were just a couple of kids,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
way back. Okay.
bunch of kids.
Shout out Rick Soundwave again for letting us jam.
Soundwave,
Again.
we love you so much.
But yeah, no, you're good point. That's crazy. So that one obviously was a song for a while. So it seems like we're kind of like, let's pick up these tunes that are kind of existing, right?
that
Because that's
seems
not a
like-
fresh tune at all. But I
Yeah.
remember that being around, and maybe it was a good time because that sounds so different.
I
like
think
this-
besides all the like Cloud did a ton of writing right after No Shame.
Yeah.
And then mixed with I think we had so much shit left over too.
Right.
From No Shame and just probably from in general.
Sure.
That like I think that's where like Lucy came from.
Right.
That's where when we get there, Slave came from.
Yeah.
Because I remember we
Was
demoed
that one in
with-
there too?
Yeah, we're jumping ahead, but I remember that we demoed with Barnhorst.
Oh my God! And that was No Shame.
I remember Leary was begging to do it for No Shame. He was like, because he loved that song so
What a
much, and he was
trip.
like, I want to do this, but it just fell to the wayside. We had so much songs for No Shame, and then
I got
well,
a
also
funny.
too, remember if you listen back, there wasn't a hit.
right
The
so we
A&R
busted it,
people
yeah.
was
Oh,
like,
no.
they're like,
Could never
like,
be
what
a
about
hit.
this one? Nope, that's
Yeah,
not
it's
making it.
yeah,
All
no,
right,
yeah.
bring something new. Right,
musical geniuses, you know.
right, exactly.
These guys know everything.
So
Crazy.
yeah.
Oh, and also too, this was one where we were really, really adamant about having our whoa, whoa, whoas in the beginning of
Oh,
Lucy.
because we'd already learned the
Thank
Ashes
you.
lesson.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Probably put him in there just
Yeah.
to.
No, I think we did. I think, I think like it was like, no. We're doing this live now.
Yeah.
We're gonna record it this way.
Yeah.
You listen to me,
Right.
buddy.
Yeah.
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 But no, Larry was like, oh, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know Leary, bro. He's just game.
Exactly.
No, he is. Okay, so the song, this is an easy one because it's so old. Remember, as far as content, that was a song that I remember writing about a person that like I couldn't really tell the person. Excuse me, I couldn't tell the person that I was with. Hey, that person is kind of like this. Well, I don't know if they're like that, just because they're best friends or whatever. I don't know how to tell you, and I think that's the way I had to let it out. So I described this person with a fake name and a fake town and a fake scenario
Yeah.
about that person who was like a good friend of them. And you don't see what's going on. So you can't be hanging out with Lucy.
Yeah. Isn't that what's rad about the creative process?
Yeah,
You grab a chunk out of the air and
Yeah.
be like, let me just translate this over here, though.
Yeah, yeah, because
And then you're right, like, shh, they might pick up on it.
yeah. No, this is going to be in Arizona now. And, oh boy, and it's
maybe
not.
get rid of that one.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's not a
That's
train.
not a
It's
country,
a
actually. It
pick
was
truck. Yeah, full court. Look up here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's one of those good ones of like, hey, yeah, and even then, who knows if they even listen to the song or fucking
Well,
get it?
and
It's
then,
like,
and then that's how I think those
ridiculous.
those kind of like like quantum leaps that you do with music almost is I think one of the reasons why it's so translatable in a million different ways where everyone picks up something different from it. Like, oh, I took this from that song. And you're like, well, that's nothing what it's about, but sick.
But
right.
That's why as an artist, you don't want to explain a song too much.
Totally.
Right.
But you want like, well, this is like a little, like that was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was written about someone else. I had to like make sure like they wouldn't ever understand.
Totally.
Is that funny? It's ridiculous.
Because
It's
as
great.
a fan, I love finding out little like Easter eggs.
Sure,
What was coming.
Sure.
So you're like, oh, because it's just mind blowing. You're just like, oh my God, I can't believe that's what he was thinking.
Or
That's
when they
amazing.
come up to you and they go, that song got me through. I almost killed myself, and like something serious, or that one got me through when I was in Iraq, or that one made me so happy because, or that's my wedding song. You're like, oh, sick joy. You know, you don't want to like it because it means something different. Like you just said, like
point shoots for our wedding song.
Like, yeah, they'll like go, oh, nice. I like the way you go. We're devout Mormons. Like, oh. And then I think back to Hexam. Meow, licking, meow. With the cat. Oh, no, exactly. You don't want to do it. Or like when you figure out what Michael Jackson was saying, all your kid, you're like, Shaman, you're like, whoa, wait, what did he say? Yeah. So like, what does that mean to you? No, but yeah, just in the weirdness of that, I mean, what a cool outlet we have, guys. But but seriously, and on like a personal human level, it's like how rad to be able to get that shit off your chest. And yeah, exactly.
without like blatantly getting it off.
100%. And for me, it's double service because later that person had a really weird name too, or a name that like I didn't like, maybe because other like, if you run into a person that fucked you over back in the day or whatever, you're like, oh, I hate that name. Exactly. You know what I mean? Totally. But so I had to change her name, and I always liked the name Lucy. I love Lucy, and ended up naming one of my daughters Lucy. I was like, oh, that's sick. Recycle this one. Yeah. And I was like, let's check out this song. She's like, play the Lucy song. I'm like, oh, sick. There you go.
A good name is a good name.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, sick. Love it. All right.
More guesses?
More Motown.
Oh, shit.
More musical. More 69.
Okay, there we go. Thank you for that. Yeah.
I got my guess.
Again, this is my keyboard. This is my keyboard entrance into recording.
You played it.
Oh,
sick.
Nice.
Yep.
And wait, now I'm remembering it too. Didn't you have all those sick drum loops from your one drum machine that were all like out of time and shit like that?
It's called a Dr. 660.
Yes.
And it was the same drum machine that Eazy-E and Dre had.
Oh, sick.
For
Hey, yo, Dre.
not the unit.
But
the type of unit.
Wow.
For Straight Outta Compton. And so I got this thing. This is like back in the day of like the SH-101 and this.
Yeah.
This is like my two main things of like it was bass and drums.
Yeah.
Drum machine, keyboard bass.
Yeah.
And yes. And so, yeah, exactly. So there was all out of time. Like it wasn't like syncopated.
Yeah, there was something. I just remember Leary every time, like there are a couple songs with the drum machine loops or whatever, and he'd be like, "Oh, fuck, how'd you do that?" Like I think he was like
he was so
blown
impressed.
away that he was like, how'd you make it like this?
He was so impressed that the quantizing of the machine was like not existent because it was so old, right? And so, and then he was like hearing that again. It's like more Motown. It's just like, and then also too, like content lyric wise for the song, it's not much here. It's just fun.
Yeah,
just straight fun. Like, all right, look, you love Give It Up, you love Point and Shoot. Here's another one called Musical 69.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's not necessarily much to it, but it's just very obvious.
For me,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
for me, it's a fun track.
Yeah.
But like content wise, it's just fun.
Yeah.
Which is great, which is fine.
It's just fun, and it's like the analogy's right in your face.
Yeah.
And it's right up front, and you get it right off the bat. So I just think it's more just it's very obvious and served right up to you. You know what I mean? Instead of
musically.
Like,
it's a musical.
Well, also too, you got to think like Musical 69. I was like, it's not only the obvious, but it's the year of music I'm listening to in the Motown era.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
As well, right?
See?
Right.
Nice.
And so it's just like, the double entendre there.
And with that, just on top of the time frame of like the late '60s was such a powerful time with like Led Zeppelin coming out with their first record,
right?
The Beatles like sunsetting almost in that
Zeppelin. Do you mean like the band that ripped off Greta Van Fleet?
Yes.
Okay. God, I can never.
The tribute, the Greta
tribute.
Van Fleet tribute.
Thank you. Got you.
Can't believe that's a thing.
What a year for music.
What a year for music.
I will tell you this though, and he's gonna be so pumped when he hears this. Obi,
Yeah.
that's his all-time favorite jam.
Sick.
Like
sick.
on that album. He's
Oh my
just
God.
like, hey, he's like, I love that song.
That's his Peanuts, is what you mean.
Yeah,
That's his musical.
maximum respect to Obe.
Yeah.
Oh
Obes.
yeah, Obes, we love you.
Sick.
All right, let's see. Next is you're not.
I'm counting the Peanuts.
No, that
Damn
never
it.
made it. Ambition.
Nope,
Okay.
that's coming in a couple after
This is
one.
so badass, you guys. Side note, this especially for this one, learning about your own albums.
of what
I
you've
have
done.
learned.
This is our
I
own
always
ra-
I was looking forward to this one because I don't know shit about this one, and I'm learning it right now as we're digging this stuff
Oh, I'm
up.
gonna say Slave.
Nope.
Well, then
Similar, kind of similar.
okay, spill it. Now.
The Phoenix.
Oh, no, I would never have guessed.
I know,
totally
it's just
forgot.
not- yeah.
I totally
And
forgot.
I
this
was
was
lost.
even on there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is another one where I remember when I listened to the record after not listening for so many years, I heard this song and I was like, damn, we are some introspective fucking musicians
does
on this one.
Oh, fuck, how does this one go?
It's got that.
What's even the chorus of that song?
Okay, yeah. Give me a.
I don't know. I don't.
then-
Half of these, I'm like,
Line.
what? I'm like,
And then it's got that big tom bill. I can't think of the lyrics though.
I
can
feel
think of
I
can
feel
think
the
of
song
drum.
in the drum.
Yeah, I can
Whatever you did is like it's a thing.
Yeah.
What?
No cymbals on this one too.
No, I think Wet Dreams was the only one we recorded.
Oh,
with cymbals
okay.
Separate,
I got you.
think.
Yeah,
I
we
think
thought
'cause,
we were
like,
being cool.
Yeah, and I think like Leary's whole thing was like, oh, this could be like a big pop song. Like, let's record everything separate.
Right,
like
right,
this
right.
and that.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
But yeah, here, hold on.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit of
real
this.
quick.
Wow.
Oh,
Police. Delay.
Right here.
Oh, how's that fucking?
Bro,
How's
listen,
this
go home
fucking-
and listen to this and have some headphones. You're like,
Oh, I remember.
this is wild. This
know.
could be chicken skin in a weird way. What?
with all the displaced snares. No snare.
No snare.
Yeah. Nice one.
How's the fucking the first
Yeah,
shot? That brought me. That's Slane Castle right there.
that
That's
is Slane.
fucking.
Now more snare. And more kick too.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
This is a lyric.
Pretty sure this is gonna be a TikTok hit in about 2 months from now, after this podcast gets released.
Hold on, we'll get to the chorus and then we'll get back to it.
But the story I'm starting to get.
Oh yeah, it's a big double verse too.
I love the no snare thing. Okay.
Here we go. Look at all these swoops.
This is
How's
Stone
the
Temple
how's the
Pilots.
bass
Yeah.
line?
I dig that part.
Yeah. So yeah, how
Ooh.
I'm telling you.
And there's
go
more
back,
whoa-whoas. Oh, whoa.
Go back and listen to this.
That's
man.
wow,
It's like,
man, that's
like you said,
wow.
you got the chicken skin.
Yeah, I totally did right
I'm
now.
telling you.
But how sick is that drum groove?
Yeah. it's-
And the fucking the haunting. I don't.
Yeah.
Wow. The story I started to recognize too.
Yeah.
Similar kind of thing.
it's like you said, we're learning about ourselves.
Hey. Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
For the listeners watching and listening,
Yeah. Come on.
really quick. Yasad's young boy, Sai, he just looks at you. He's not speaking totally
Yeah,
like
he's
all the
14
way
months
through it,
old.
He's super old. He's 1 year
he'll
old.
just, but he'll look at you and he'll just go, and it's pretty much the most
the Hawaiian
adorable
fawns
thing
right
I've
there.
ever seen.
No, that's badass. No, I hear it in the music in that. And here's another.
Very Frusciante, the guitar part,
Oh,
which makes
yes.
total sense. But the Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah, that's
song-
kind of
that was a
interesting,
good one.
too.
I mean,
Which this
That's-
guy and me sat in cul-de-sacs for just years
tanks.
and water tanks
Yeah.
late night with acoustic guitars. Just gonna be
no
so
one in
tired
Kona,
for school.
by
No,
the way.
no,
Like no one was there. It's
Yeah.
nothing like it is now.
No.
You guys remember?
Yeah.
that.
yeah, it's
totally.
just us out there, and you're so right. Like
It's just us out there.
that's
really was.
It's kind of cool because maybe if you didn't have anything prepared, obviously that's not a prepared. I don't know where that came from, the story, but like to hear all those things and how that groove,
Yeah.
and hear the guitar things. Like this is like a band and for sure for sure, Paul Leary, this is his, there's room for it. It's kind of cool that with Paul Leary, who's so passionate, who led the whole deal, to have his thing instead of like, here's a song, it's done, you want to record, you know what I mean? Because there's times for that. There's, you know, we just said, but like that was kind of like, I don't know where all that was.
I think Phoenix was supposed to be on, or not supposed to, but I think that came around before No Shame as well.
Okay.
Because I remember that song and Scarecrow, which Scarecrow was another
that one I remember.
Scarecrow never saw the light of day yet.
No.
Yeah.
I like that. Because that's like the mom or the dad of the
Right?
song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I remember we were jamming those two. I remember even during sound checks on the Mad Caddies tour in Europe.
Okay.
Sound checking Phoenix and Scarecrow in Europe. I remember
on Wisner's machine.
Yes. This was before.
Yes. But doesn't that sound like? But you're saying that because you hear that as kind of relatable to the Phoenix song.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes. I think we were working on both of them in tandem, and it was kind of funny because the Scarecrow song, see, even Leary, I don't think it hit him that. Yeah, I was always really pumped on that song.
That song was always good.
I don't know. Same era though.
And then also too, I wanted to hear a super reggae version of it.
Yeah,
But that's
you know, like again, it's like what were we talking about? Dust on my shoes and keep your head banging, right?
Yeah, totally.
Maybe that's just part of the Pepper deal. Is we have different I mean, because look at us live. I mean, going back to what we played, the first 3 songs of the album, of this album specifically, without knowing it or being contrived, it was just like those came back into the rotation, right? Or Freeze has been back for a while, but like, you know what I'm saying? These ones, Davy Jones, not a ton, maybe.
Yeah.
And then not Love 101,
Point Shoot.
Because I'm learning. Things That You Love.
Oh yeah.
Funnest version of that, or maybe it's the newest version of that. But I loved playing that one again live.
Yeah,
you get to rediscover it, and that's a new version from how you're saying we used to play it, which is really cool. But as far as that song goes, that sounds like a lot of
sounds like that.
Yeah, sounds like it's just like that. That sounds like a lot of turmoil and pain and shit. And I think the Phoenix is a cool way to, I don't know where exactly the store, if it's you're seeing that in a relationship or you're seeing that in your life and you're putting it, weaponizing it into a persona that you can talk about, whatever. But that sounds like fucking burning in hell.
Yeah.
But also the hope, what you turn into when you've been pushed too far, when you can't, you have to either release.
After you've been fully burnt.
Yeah. And women.
There's ash left.
Yes.
Yeah. Or there's exactly all the ashes in a way too, even in a story of where like, if you can reach that part, or however you get to it, some people have to do it through trauma. Some people can do it through namaste or whatever. However a healthy way, a tragic way, a combination. However you get there, that's great. But there's a sexiness in that groove. Maybe that's where it came from. Is where there's nothing like the way I imagine a woman experiencing that, because women, they have such depth emotionally, comparatively to stereotype. But from what I see, they're so in touch with so many things, and they have. They have like an ethereal part that they can reach out deeper, is where like, I don't get it or whatever, is where, but a woman scorned, that's a whole nother level too. And that's, I remember kind of that blended that lyric really well with the music that you guys and fucking Leary were imagining, which was kind of cool. I would have never thought of any of that.
But it's cool because everything sounds like you're saying, sounds like hell, sounds dark, like,
I'm just afraid. Yeah.
But then with the sentiment of the title of the song, there's this like overlying like horizon of hope.
She burned her way out of it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's kind of cool, like juxtaposition. With that one, I think.
What a trip, man.
So nice. That was sick.
I'm blown away. I'm so proud and scared of us. This is so awesome.